Let's go do this. Love you. If you ever took a freaking hammer and just beat the hell out of your hands with it. Yeah.
Born from the same branch and leaves, wild and free. Living.
Of course, the most efficient way to do this is to have some nice, heated gear, maybe. But if you're on a budget and you're poor and broke all the time like me, you're going to want to do this on the cheap, right? So just understand this. It all comes down to the core, right? Where your body maintains its temperature. From the waist down, depending on the length of the ride, don't worry about it, right? As long as you can keep your core warm, you're going to win the battle, right? So the way you do that, of course, it goes without saying, you have to have a jacket. Of course, I have a leather riding jacket here, AGV Sport Sano. But besides that, the balaclava, probably one of the most important elements. Because what this is going to do is it's going to seal the outside wind from hitting your core. And when that cold wind hits your core, of course, that's how you start losing all your heat. And that's when you start, going into the shivers and the rigors and everything, and you don't want that, man. So what we're about to do, it's about 7:40 in the morning, 27 degrees outside. We're going to do this with the bare minimum. It's about a 25-30 minute ride. Not too bad. Go down to Walmart. Yes, sir. Go on down to your local Walmart. Get you some of them cheap DVDs. I got these cheap thermals, man. That's all you need. If it gets down into the teens, I'll put on thermal pants. But 27 degrees, we'll rock just the thermal undershirt, balaclava, our leather jacket, some cheap insulated gloves. These from Competition Accessories. 20 bucks, right? BVDs, 10 bucks. Balaclava, 10, 15 bucks. Revzilla cycle gear, you name it, they all got it. Now look, so when you do this, the most important thing, of course, is to make sure you're all tucked up, right? Make sure everything's tucked in. The balaclava has to be tucked into your jacket, man. Otherwise, you're defeating the purpose. By the way, this particular balaclava is a Dainese. Got it from Revzilla. I think it was 15 bucks. I like to hold the slack out. It's a little bit too big for me if you can't tell. I like to pull some slack out so I have full mobility when I turn my head in the helmet. Go on and zip all this stuff up. Hey, another element to this is getting dressed indoors, because you start actually getting hot. And that's to your advantage, because your core is going up in temperature, and that's going to allow you to stay warmer that much longer once you get on the road. All right, let's go do this. Oh Lord, it's a chilly one. 27 degrees. Get her cranked up. Okay. Y'all hear that cold weather lope? Yeah, buddy. She likes to lope like that when it's cold. Just until she warms up. Whew. That's another thing, guys. Cold weather like this, man, let your bike warm up. Huh? Let that oil come up to temp. And see, the lope's already going away. Alright. Now look, I know this might seem all ghetto and shit. Well, that's because it is. But here's the deal. Heated gear is going to run you a couple $100. Now, again, like I said earlier, it all depends on the length of your ride, man. Like, you know, this is going to be a half-hour ride at most. Typically runs me about 25 minutes. My worst experiences. See there, look there. We are sealed up, good to go, man. We're going to be just fine. I'm actually hot right now. And again, get dressed inside makes all the difference in the world when you get out here. Whew. Let's mount our steed. Yeah, buddy. See that LO for low temp? Let that rise, man. Let that get to where it registers. But now, my worst experiences, there are two, well, sort of, two circumstances, if you will. One was an experience I'll never repeat. It was the scariest experience of my life riding a motorcycle. The second occurred multiple times, but you know, that's my fault. So the second was the less severe. Let's talk about it. Back when I was in Dallas, I was doing a commute, 40 minutes one way, having to leave in the winter time when it was still dark out. I think the coldest I rode was 17 degrees, and I was okay, you know. All that preaching I did about the core, your core, I was good. From the bottom down, like from the waist down, I went numb. It didn't matter. Of course, that's the other thing about it. Your bottom half has nothing to do with your core, man. Just protect your core. See how I'm out of breath? It's because I'm hot. I'm all... Whew. That's good, though. That's good. As long as you don't sweat. You sweat, that'll add to the chilliness. It'll also put you in hypothermia quicker. There's the wife. Love you. Alright, so back to the story. On this 40-minute ride in the teens and low 20s back in Dallas, what would get me, I'd have like 15 minutes left in the ride. My hands would be so freaking cold. Of course, they'd be numb, and this is very dangerous, y'all. I mean, this is literally approaching frostbite conditions. When I would get to the office, we had a little space heater that we kept in the office just to keep the chill out, and I would go directly to that space heater, crank it on high, and I'd hold my hands in front of it, and as my hands were literally thawing out, they would begin throbbing with this pain you've never felt. Well, I'll tell you, you may have felt it if you ever took a freaking hammer and just beat the hell out of your hands with it. Yeah. It's pretty much what it was like. I mean, the throbbing pain, y'all, like getting hit with a hammer. Now, I was wearing these exact gloves at the time, all the times. And I also have these cheap little Under Armour thin gloves that kind of act as little liners that I would wear as well, and it would help. It's what allowed me to push the limit
Without the added layer underneath these gloves, I couldn't have done it. Alright, so it's 27 degrees. And, you know, we're pushing 80, 85 miles an hour. I don't know what that was. Did you hear that? Something hit the hell out of my helmet. Yeah, it probably bounced off that trailer. Woo! Yeah, so that goes with saying, always wear your helmets, kids. Anyways, here we are, 80, 85-ish, 27 degrees, we're good. Thermal shirt, leather jacket, insulated gloves, balaclava #1 underneath that jacket's what you need, man. See, I'm keeping the wind off my neck. That's how it gets to your cores. When it starts hitting your neck, it travels down your jacket, starts freezing you out. Then when you go into the shivers and the freaking rigors and the shakes and shit, that's all over, man. You're done. You already lost. So the objective is to prevent all that. And if you can prevent all that, you can ride in the cold for quite a long while. Okay, so let's get to the scary story. So for a little while, I was commuting. I was living in a hotel, y'all. The wife and kids stayed back in Louisiana, and I was staying in a Motel 6 in frickin' Dallas. And every weekend I would commute back to Louisiana. And I would typically, well, you know what? I didn't typically always do it on the bike. Every now and again I would. And it got to the point where I wanted to so bad, you know, because I love riding, that I made a poor decision. I made the decision to leave from Dallas under light misting conditions. Now, that didn't seem too terrible. It's about a 2.5 to 3 hour ride from Dallas back to Louisiana back in the day, and it wasn't even very cold out. And I equipped myself, I didn't have leather at the time, I had equipped myself similarly to where I am now. It was only in the 50s. I think it was like 55, 56 degrees. The problem was the precip. Precipitation changes everything, y'all. Because once you get soaked and it gets down to your skin, that's when hypothermia becomes real, okay? And that's what's really dangerous. Couple the shivering and shaking and uncontrollable dexterity loss and everything else, couple that with the fact that I couldn't see shit because it was a misting rain the whole way there. And you guys know that when you go through misting rain, it collects on your face shield to the point where there's nothing you can do to clear it. You can wipe it, it collects back immediately. I was actually having a ride with my face shield cracked open, and there was water just coming in the whole time. It was just exacerbating the experience terribly. So there I am, shaking uncontrollably for probably the last hour of riding. My dexterity was absolutely gone. So I couldn't have gotten on the clutch and brake in a flash if I would have even tried. And so safety was absolutely compromised. And again, what made it worse was the visibility was reduced to nothing. And so I found myself slowing down to 70 or so. Yeah, that's right, slowing down to 70 or so. And just trying to maintain a visual on the highway. It was very difficult, it was very scary. There were points in time where I lost sight of the painted lines. And, you know, when you start feeling the drunk bumps on the side of the interstate and you're on a motorcycle and you can't see them in the first place, that's an oh shit moment. Wow. Admittedly, this ended up being a longer vlog than I anticipated. I kind of just wanted to explain how you can do all this on the cheap and not freeze your nuts. But clearly it became story time, and if you're an OG half-click-up subscriber, you know that it's all about the storytelling, yeah? Well, if you like motovlogs in general, it's all about the story. Okay, so anyways, let's wrap this up. So the point of the story, what I was trying to get across to you guys, is the importance of knowing your limits and keeping safety in mind. Always keep your own safety in mind. That night on that ride, it was a poor decision. I didn't realize what I was getting myself into, and I damn near almost killed myself. And it was scary as hell. Scariest moment on a motorcycle to date. So yeah. Anyways, guys, just to recap real quick, it's all about your core. You need to keep your core body temperature up. Don't let it go down. The way you achieve this on the cheap is with a decent leather jacket. You don't have to go all Dainese on it and drop a G, right? Just get you a nice leather jacket. This one just has a little simple thermal liner in it. Go down to your local neighborhood Walmart to get you some of them damn there old DVDs on the cheap. Get some of them. Yeah, a little thermal layer. Cheap gloves. Cheap liners if necessary. We're not wearing them right now. You know, 27 degrees, we're pulling this off just fine. I'm not cold at all. If it drops off into the teens or low 20s, I'll go ahead and opt for the DVD pants too, as a base layer. And the #1 accessory to include with your leather jacket, of course, again, is the balaclava. You got to have a balaclava, guys. If you can't keep the wind off of your neck, it's going to go down your jacket and start affecting your core temperature. Remember, keep your core temperature up. Guys, that's all I got. It is Monday morning and headed into the office. I hope you guys all have a good week. This has been HalfClickup, and I am out of here. I will see you guys on the next one. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Peace and goodbye.